1, 2, 3.
Yeah! Is there such a thing as too early to start school? What's your stance on screen time? Can toddlers really learn to sleep on their own? Is it normal for toddlers to be super picky eaters? What does fortified really mean? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have an exciting and hopefully insightful vlog for you guys because I will be having a very special guest in a few minutes. No, it's not Sienna. I mean, Sienna will also be here, but we'll have another special guest. Before I introduce our very special guest to you guys, let's unbox this cute package that we got from today's sponsor, Arla. What do we have here? Ooh, lots of cheese. Yay. Sienna loves cheese. Actually, she loves Arla, period. And this is actually her favorite. It's the kids' cheese stick. As in, I don't want to speak ill of my child, but she may or may not have thrown a fit when we didn't have any cheese sticks here at home. What else do we have here? I don't think she's tried these yet, so I'm so excited to introduce these to her. We have the spreadable cream cheese squares, Arla cheesy triangles, Arla milk, which Yoni will consume for sure. And then we have here strawberry milk and chocolate milk. Sienna hasn't tried that as well. Cheesy spread, milky and mild taste, and cheesy cheddar, butter, and creamy taste. You know what? Since Sienna hasn't tried a lot of these, we'll be doing a taste test with her later. But before we do that, you guys know this challenge that the parents have been doing? Yung they will hide the kids' favorite snack on the plate. Tapos yung isang parent, wala nung snack na yun, and you'll see if she'd want to share with you or not. Let's do that with Sienna. To be honest, I'm not so sure if she would want to share with me because I've tried asking for the cheese sticks from her before when she was munching on them, and she didn't always share them with me. So let's see. Let's see if she'll share them with me. Hopefully she will. Okay, my love, let's sit down here first. Don't open the plate, okay? You go on the middle plate. Yeah.
Is it sunny?
It's part of the look daw.
Part of the look.
So we don't know what are inside these plates, okay? And they said inside daw are surprise snacks for Dada, for Sienna, and for Mommy. Ready? Ooh, what are they? Okay, everyone has to do it same time, okay?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah! I didn't get any. Oh my love! Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mommy can really have this even if it's your fave. Okay, ready?
I can't open mine.
Here, my love.
Now, why did you not get anything?
Kaya nga eh, I don't know. But it's nice that you shared yours with Mom, even though it's your fave. Cheers!
We didn't guess.
You didn't guess? Would you have guessed it?
No.
No. Are you happy these are the snacks though? Actually, we have more cheese pa, my love. You wanna check? We have some new drinks also that you haven't tried. You wanna come look with Mommy? Okay.
Done.
Done!
Dawn.
Ta-da!
I'm gonna get this one.
Okay, so we have presenting. Are you ready? Arla cheesy cheddar, buttery and creamy taste. Next.
Yummy. I like this. I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get the strawberry and you will get the chocolate.
Okay, agreed. And then we still have Arla cheesy spread, milky and mild taste. And then we have here some spreadable cream cheese. And also, what shape is this?
Triangle.
Correct, triangles. Let's try this one, the cheesy spread. And then whichever you like the most, that will be for your breakfast for today. What do you think?
Yes, 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 yes.
Here's yours, madam.
Thank you.
So you just follow what Mommy does. You just spread it onto. Up to you how much you want to put. Mommy likes a lot of cheese, so Mommy puts a lot. How is it, madam?
Good.
Good. Let me know if you want to taste the next one. Oh, tissue, madam?
Thank you. Also for my mouth.
Oh, cannot share, hand and mouth. Here you go, madam.
Thank you.
So remember, this is the first one we tried so that you can decide later which one's your fave.
Strawberry next. Strawberry next. I haven't tasted milk strawberry yet.
You want to try this now?
I removed my glasses now.
Okay, very good. You're ready for the world to see you.
Yummy.
You love it? Let me taste. No, you laugh. Okay. How about this one? You'll taste it too? You don't want to taste it?
Para fair, if I let you, I can taste too.
Okay, sige. Para fair. Ano honestly yung pagkadamot niya sa food? I shouldn't wonder where she got it. Same.
Mom, just do like this.
Okay.
Mom, your lipstick.
Oh, Mommy should wipe. It's so good, my love.
I want to taste yours.
Okay, sige. Taste. You like it too? You just like the strawberry more? Also good. Next, which one should we spread next? This one naman.
Gonna get this one. Where's mine?
Here you go, madam.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to dip it now. I was like, oh, we're not gonna eat?
Of course we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat so much cheese and bread. Cheers!
Yum.
Super yum.
This one was the most yummy as me.
Me too. I like this more too. Okay, next, this one. This one we can munch on like your cheese sticks, except it's a triangle. Ta-da! It's like pizza.
Here, Mom, I got some for you.
Oh, thank you. Here you go.
Here you go. Mommy, why?
Nothing. It's a perfect triangle. Do you like this more or the cheese stick?
We don't get this check all first. I made it into pieces so it's not hard to eat.
Correct, for mommy. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So as I was saying, we're gonna be having a special guest today, and she's none other than Doc Joey. She's a pediatrician / mom. So she's the perfect person to answer all your questions that you sent over to my Instagram stories. One of the topics that we're gonna be diving into is a topic that all moms care about: the food we feed to our kids. What exactly is in our kids' food and how important are they? What should we be looking for? Like, I see these words on kiddie snacks labeled fortified. So what exactly does this mean? And are they really okay or necessary to give to our kids? You guys also sent in questions about a lot of different questions that hopefully I'll be able to ask Doc Joey before our time is up, because you know she's a busy woman. Oh, you're done with your triangle. Ready to try our final one? This one naman is a square, my love. We open it like so. It's like a drawer. So you see the green thing here? That's where you open first. Just peel it off and just pull. Here you go. You can choose to squish it like so, or you can spread it. Mommy will just squish it like this.
I'm gonna just squish it also. And my favorite is this one.
That one? I agree. That's also mommy's favorite. And then this one. You have the same taste, my love.
Mommy, is doctor gonna ask the name of me?
She probably will. Will you introduce yourself? Like a big girl? Good job.
Yeah.
Oh, I think she's here.
Doctor, 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 doctor.
Hi, Doc. Good morning.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. So this is Doc Joey Estanislao. She's a pediatrician and also an expert in kids' wellness. Doc, thank you so much for joining me on today's vlog. I think this is our first time to feature a Pedia here in our vlog. So thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me join you today.
Of course. I'm sure a lot of my followers are so excited. They sent in so many questions. So we'll be talking about that and we'll be answering as much as we can. Because Doc is a doctor after all. She needs to go back to her patients. But Doc, I want to introduce you to my baby girl. This is Sienna, my baby girl.
Hi, Sienna. I'm Doc Joey.
Do you have any questions for Doc before you go play? No?
None.
You want to go play na? Oh, she got
Yeah.
so shy na. Okay. So now that Sienna is off playing, Doc, we can get serious. Are you ready, Doc?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so I have my código here because these are questions from other moms. One of the most asked questions is, what food should toddlers get to make sure they are healthy?
I think this is a really good question, especially for moms who may have some trouble figuring out if their toddlers are getting everything that they need. A good way for moms to check if their kids are getting enough of the nutrients that we want them to get is we can do what we call a diet diversity screening. So there are 7 food groups that we look at here, and we want them to have at least 4 in a day.
7, Doc? Akala ko go, grow, glow lang.
Yes, there's 7 that we're looking at. Just so
Okay.
we can screen if all the nutrients are being taken in by our kid. So there's eggs, dairy, legumes, and beans.
Check.
Then the grains, that includes your rice, etc. We have the vitamin A rich fruits and veggies, the non-vitamin A rich fruits and veggies, and of course our meats or proteins.
Okay.
So if you're able to get at least 4 of those into your kids' plates during the entirety of a day, you're pretty sure they're getting all the nutrients they need.
At least 4.
At least 4.
In a day.
In a day.
Okay, bigla ko napaisip, like, are we giving Sienna? I think so, okay. So, do you have hacks for toddlers to just eat healthy in general? Most especially vegetables, because a lot of the kids, they're very picky, especially with vegetables.
Honestly, most kids have difficulty with accepting vegetables, but I think part of it is also kind of your attitude towards feeding your kid. Some parents kind of, once the baby rejects it or the toddler rejects it, they're like, oh, ayaw.
They stop offering.
Yeah, ayaw na talaga niya. But we've done studies and they've shown that if you introduce a food or expose them to a food at least 20 times, sometimes up to 20 times, it can take that many times before they actually accept something. Then another thing you can do is you model the behavior you want them to have. So for example, you want to show them that you're eating your veggies, you want to show them you're eating your fruits, so that when they see you do it, they're more inclined to follow suit. It helps like if you're serving your meal, they eat the same stuff you do.
Yes, that's really important. And I feel like, diba, Doc, it helps also if you introduce these things the earlier,
Yes,
the
the earlier the better. And don't feel discouraged when they say no.
Because it changes.
Yes, it changes. And the tendency is you give them something that's acceptable, like chicken nuggets. But every time that they reject, they get the chicken nuggets, so they know it's okay for them to reject the food because they'll always get something that they will actually eat eventually. So they don't try to explore other types of food. So medyo restrictive siya pag ganon.
Yeah.
Actually, with Sienna, Doc, like, di ba, usually in the mga American shows, they always have these, like, kids refusing broccoli. But because it's always been in Sienna's diet ever since she was young, parang broccoli is, like, one of her favorite vegetables na. So it's because it's always been offered to her, and that's why she's so used to it.
Yes.
And I feel now we've also introduced to her the importance of, like, eating healthy. So she knows that food is not just for fun. Like,
Yes.
food is really for her body.
Yes, I don't really like that attitude of making food for play. It has to be really something that you tell her helps her to become more nourished, more strong, more healthy, so that she sees the value in eating properly.
So, Doc, since we're already in this topic of, having a healthy diet, and I know that, as moms, we tend to, like, panic, like, oh my God, my child is not eating. So we turn to mga snacks and all these things because, of course, snacks, these are everyone's favorites, not just the kids, even us.
And so easy, so convenient.
Yes, and when you look at the labels, parang if you look at the ingredients, there's always this, like, they say, for example, like, fortified. So what does fortified really mean?
So fortified foods are generally foods that are more affordable, more approachable for most of the population. And why we do fortification is if you, for example, don't really have a lot of budget to buy a lot of whole foods, then fortified foods are a way for you to meet those nutritional needs that you may not be able to get if you had a more limited diet without these fortified foods.
So, Doc, if I understand correctly, when you purchase, let's say, real food, like, for example, like Arla, when you're purchasing something like that, because it's already real food, the strength here is that there's no need to fix, like, no need for fixing. Because
Yes.
parang fortification is sort of like fixing the lack of nutrients from the non-real foods.
Yeah, so for example, it doesn't normally have this kind of vitamin or this kind of mineral. They add on to it, especially if it's food that's more available to everybody.
Okay, so Doc, let's put that to the test. Let's do a pack check, an ingredient check. So here we have, it's just organic whole milk.
Yeah.
And then if we look at the flavored milk, it's got milk, sugar, cocoa powder, stabilizers, emulsifiers. 5 ingredients, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Doc, actually, that's something I've realized because I aim for a healthy pantry, especially when I turned 30. I'm not gonna reveal at what point we are now, but especially when I turned 30, I became more conscious with the things that I put in my body. So then I would always check the ingredient list. And what I've noticed is that the healthier options are always the ones with the least amount of ingredients. Parang it's always just the necessary ingredients, like none of the fluff. It's really just what you need.
Yeah, because the more ingredients, it also tends to be more processed.
Yeah.
So it also sometimes adds more flavor or whatever, just so it makes it more palatable. But that's not always necessary, and it's also not always healthy.
So I guess this is why my husband loves Arla for our household, because it's really like real milk and he takes his dairy seriously.
Super
As a
seriously.
Nordic, yes. He takes it very, very seriously. Okay, so next question. We're still on the topic of food. Is it normal for toddlers to be super picky eaters? As in, meron na nagsabi sa akin, like she sent in her question, she was saying that her kid is so sensitive to like even the smell of meat and the smell of certain things na she's just really so frustrated because it's so hard to feed her toddler.
Most toddlers go through a picky eating stage talaga. And there's actually a phase during toddlerhood where they're really just not interested in food. They're more interested in playing and going around and running around. That when it comes to mealtime, they're just like, no thanks. I don't want to sit there and eat. Especially if it's food that's new or if it's something that they've never tried before or if it's a sensation that they've never experienced before. So there are kids who tend to be a bit more sensitive to that. And while it's not something that all kids will go through, there are some kids who are especially sensitive. So if you feel like your kid is very particular about the sensory stuff, it would be good to talk to your pedia. But for most kids, it's also just about being a toddler. So how do we kind of bridge that? We want to just show them like familiar foods and then we pair them with something new.
Yes.
Yeah, so that there's something acceptable and something new and you let them try it together. And that really helps.
I saw a TikTok about that, Doc. Parang they call it a safe food.
Yeah.
So, for example, if in their meal, meron silang like, at least man lang isang food that they're sure their kid loves. So, they have a safe food. And then there are other like new things that they make their toddler try. But at least there's always that one portion that you're sure your kid will eat.
Yeah. We actually call that technique bridging. So, whether it's something that they're familiar with or something that they like. For example, they really like apples. And then you can try even giving something of the same color, like tomatoes, just so that it's visually something the same. So that actually helps toddlers with more acceptance of different kinds of food. Yun lang, medyo you have to be creative with the way you feed your toddler, but you cannot give up. Because when you stop exposing them to this different food, especially as they get older, it becomes a lot tougher to introduce
it doesn't get
them.
easier.
No, it doesn't get easier. You have to start them young and be consistent and persistent and positive. It cannot be like force feeding.
Kasi force feeding naman will just make them hate
Feeding.
eating.
Yeah.
Before, when Sienna went through this stage na, pag nakita niyang green yan, like she know it's vegetables, like before she became this okay with it, like I would really chop it up ng super duper liit. She likes crispy things, so then I would make it into this like crispy chicken nuggets, pero sa loob ng chicken, meron palang vegetables inside.
And it actually helps her get used to the new taste or sensation so that when you introduce it a bit more unfiltered, she's actually better able to tolerate it or accept it. So that's a really, really good tactic actually. Galing.
So, let's say na talagang super hard talaga when it comes to food. So, of course, then a lot of the moms would turn to like vitamins and supplements, right? First of all, what are the vitamins that you think are essential for toddlers to get?
Most of the vitamins and nutrients, we do really need to get it from the diet. We have like the water soluble, like the C's, the B's, and then we have the A, D, E, K vitamins, the zinc, the iron, iodine. All of those are good for their health. So that's why we had the diet diversity, remember? So you want them to have that whole kaleidoscope of nutrients in their meal so that all of their needs are met. We do want them to get these nutrients from the food that they eat. Naturally. That's the ideal because it's bioavailable. That means that when they eat it, it's better absorbed in their bodies and it's also better utilized versus if we get it from supplementation. Supplements are great if especially really picky and we don't expect miracles to happen overnight. So it's something that can be a tool in your toolbox to help them meet their needs at the moment, but eventually we want to move on to making sure that they're able to get it in a better manner.
Yeah, I agree. That's also what we do with Sienna. As much as possible, we try to make sure that she gets her nutrients from food. So when it comes to children's health, diba, like we make sure that their food is good, but also sleep. And I'm so strict with their sleep talaga. Someone was asking, can toddlers really learn to sleep on their own? Or do you have to sleep train them? How does it go?
Sleep training is more of like a Western kind of idea where you have to train your kid to sleep on their own. In more Eastern cultures, not super common. Although now, because setups are different, we may not have the village that we wish that we had, then some families find it helpful. So it's not necessary. Most kids will learn to sleep on their own, but it's just a matter of time and their temperament.
So there is hope.
There is
Whoever
hope.
is asking. I feel like there was some sort of frustration there in her question.
And the problem with sleep training is that it's not something that's perpetual. There are some kids who will be okay after sleep training and then they regress.
Yes.
So it's not like 100% guarantee that if you sleep train, okay na. So it really depends. But if it's, for example, difficult for your family to have your baby co-sleep with you or toddler rather, then maybe you can explore what other options you can. Then maybe sleep training, maybe another tool in your toolkit that you can try to see if it will be helpful for you. But it's not something that we recommend to everybody. It really depends.
I always get this sleep training question also because I do sleep train my kids. I always say that there's no one way to do it. You have to see what you said, Doc, the temperament of your kid, and you adjust along the way. So with Sienna, even though I read all these sleep training books and talked to these sleep training coaches, these are all still tweaked to what I think Sienna was ready for. And totoo yung sinabi ni Doc that even when you sleep train, they will regress. It's a natural thing for them. In certain stages in their childhood, there will be moments they regress or something happened that's overwhelming for them. So then again, that's another new set of adjustments for you and your kid. So it really is a case-to-case basis. There's no one answer that fits all.
And you have to be gentle with yourself and your kid.
Yes. Ang maganda dito is that it will eventually happen.
Walang teenager na gustong makitulog sa magulang.
Yeah. It will happen.
It will happen. It's just a matter of time.
How about screen time naman, Doc? What's your stance on screen time and how it affects the toddler's mental development and stuff like that?
Okay, this is gonna be a hard thing to listen to most parents. I know it's difficult to parent your kid. So our screen time guidelines is actually 0 screen time talaga.
It's the best.
It's the best. That's the ideal. So I'm here to tell you what's ideal, no? Up to 2 years old. Acceptable, maybe around 18 months, especially if you're living far away from relatives, you can do video calls.
Doc, before 18 months, bawal mag-video call?
Hindi naman ganun ka-strict. Like me personally, we started around 14 months. So I have a 2-year,
Oh my gosh,
almost
kami
2-year-old
ang aga
daughter.
kasi the grandparents are in Finland.
Okay lang yun.
Ang panic bigla.
Because what we're looking at here is there's interaction with the person on the screen. It's not just like, hi, and then it waits for you to say something.
Okay.
It's really a real-time thing. Pero if it's just limited amounts of time, it should be okay. Kawawa naman din the grandparents who are far away.
Okay, Doc.
But 2 years old is really the time when we introduce screens and in a limited amount. Usually in 30 minutes of quality screen time when you are co-watching with them. Co-watching as in you're watching and then your kid is with you and you're also explaining what's happening on the screen. Cannot be like they're just both staring at the screen, nothing's happening. That way, it's not just them mindlessly watching something and you're not too sure how they are understanding it. So you talk to them, you debrief them, you kind of ask them what they think about what they're watching, and you have to choose what they watch.
Yes.
Eventually, especially nowadays, diba hybrid na yung mga homeworks, school setups,
Yeah, and they teach them how to use the iPad, Doc.
and some schools
Mega,
require.
Yes. Mega, no gadgets, no anything. And then Sienna comes home, Mama, I know how to use an iPad.
Yeah, we have to also adjust to the times. But that also means as parents, mindful tayo na when they're home and not away from their screens at school, give them time outdoors, give them time to play without the gadgets so that we're not restricting their development because it does impact their development
Super.
a lot. From their attention to the concentration to their
Temperament.
temperament, their comprehension, everything is affected. I know it's hard, guys, but if you can, there are many ways to distract, entertain, and delight your kids without having a screen. And don't be afraid of boredom because boredom stimulates creativity and critical thinking and allows them to be kids.
I actually just learned that also about the boredom, yeah. And I'm kind of guilty because it's summer now, so I was like bombarding Sienna with so many activities, like swim class, football class, and everything. And then I guess my phone really listens to me, and my phone goes, chung, why boredom is good for your kids. So we've already touched on, you mentioned about school, Doc. Is there such a thing as too early to start school?
Hot topic question na naman. So I like to approach this with compassion, but also with a bit of what we know scientifically. What we know scientifically, so they did a big study in California where they looked at kids and when they started school and how they did over time. And they found out that kids who entered schools or school-like settings really early tend to burn out over time.
Oh my gosh, talaga?
Yes.
Huwag na natin i-enroll si Sienna. Labas ka na ulit.
So they tend to burn out over time. Academically, they don't necessarily perform better.
Doc, what if I teach her how to meditate? Joke lang.
It really depends per kid. Remember, we have to take these data with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Because it really depends on how your parenting is, on the school, etc. But in general, that's what they saw. We notice nowadays nga, because of the lack of minsan caregivers, lack of stimulation, the setups na, the condo, wala masyadong, yards to play on, they tend to want to go to play schools or preschools or daycares para may interaction or other sources of play. But that's not really necessary. If you have a safe environment at home that's enriching and you can provide them with the interactions they need, they learn a lot, especially during the first 3 years, with a trusted caregiver, with a lot of play, because they learn through play. And not necessarily structure. So I hear a lot about structured play. Structured play is great, but open-ended play is also really, really good for their development. So we want to encourage both kinds. And that's not necessarily in a play school setting. When they're older, maybe like 3 to 4, we can enter them into like a nursery so that they get an idea of what it's like to be in a setting where they have to be mindful of others, where there's an instructor or a teacher, so that when they finally enter formal schooling, they're better equipped to behave what's expected of them. But prior to that, it may not be that beneficial.
Prior to 3.
Prior to 3, it may not be that
Okay,
beneficial.
safe. Marked safe.
Marked safe. Okay ka pa, Sienna.
Okay ka pa, I haven't caused you to burn out yet.
So don't feel too pressured to go one way or another. There's a lot of peer pressure na ngayon with social media.
Finland nga, they don't go to school until they're, I think, 7?
7 years
Yes.
old. And that's actually a really good study also. They saw that they perform better that way.
Yes.
Before 7 kasi they do a lot of enriching activities
Through
that's play. Yes.
And sa kanila, even when you go to school na, no homework.
No homework.
They learn through play. And so it's so important for them that once school is done, there's no schoolwork. It's for you to explore the world and play. So Doc, what activities do you recommend that the toddlers do na will also be great for their development? Like it's not just them playing endlessly and aimlessly.
Honestly, aimless
There's
and
no
endless.
such thing.
No such thing. Remember, I mentioned we had structured play and open-ended play. Structured are more like close-ended plays, like mga puzzles, where they have like an end goal in mind. So those kinds of toys or those kinds of play, parang they feel good because they achieved something. So that's one way to teach them how to focus or be more goal-oriented. The other kind of play, the open-ended play, that's where they really shine.
Yeah.
Because they become creative, they practice their critical thinking, because you let them be bored, you let them figure out what to do, you don't hover over them and helicopter and tell them how to play with the toy. You let them figure it out. And a lot of that really works into helping them developing all those skills that I mentioned. So what kinds of toys? Honestly, anything can be a toy. You can bring them with you to the kitchen, you can make your desserts together, your food together. It also helps them accept food more because they see the process, so they feel more engaged when they finally eat it. Or for example, if you give them like something to paint with or something to play with and then you let them have at it, you'll be surprised what they can do. So don't feel pressured to buy the expensive toys.
Kahit nga hindi toy.
Kahit hindi toy,
Kahit tissue
cartoon.
roll lang.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of pressure for us moms kasi kahit ako na-feel ko yung pressure that when I scroll through social media, I'd be seeing this mom doing like, today this is our activity, tapos sobrang set nung activity niya and like, para siyang teacher inside the house. Then I would feel so like, what am I doing? Why am I not doing this for Sienna? But then I remember that, you know, Sienna loves to do pretend play. And I feel like I see her develop so much with the pretend play. And I just really take her lead when I play with her. One tip though that I saw again on the University of TikTok, Doc, is that when you do pretend play with your kids, don't keep asking them questions
Yes.
now. You just go along. Go along their pretend play and their world, and then that's how they learn and develop.
So that you reinforce their interest. But it's not like you're trying to pop quiz them each and every time. Because then they'll be like, ayoko na.
Sienna, ayaw.
Ayaw na.
Ayaw talaga niya.
And
Ayaw niya.
they'll feel discouraged when they can't answer
Yeah.
you. Although now and then maybe you can try to see what they know, but try not to do it all the time.
Sienna would really tell me, no na, stop na. You're not my teacher. Like, how about tantrums naman, Doc? Our best friends. How to handle toddler tantrums? I would just like to say, I've always get this, na parang, oh my God, Sienna is so nice. Parang ang bait-bait niya. Guys, she's a normal toddler. She also has tantrums. I just don't show you guys these things because these are vulnerable moments for toddlers. So I don't see the benefit in showing you this, but yes, she still goes through tantrums. So how to handle this, Doc?
Remember, tantrums are normal because they're going through a lot of things. They're learning that they have a lot of big emotions and they don't know how to process them. They don't know how to channel them, especially like the negative emotions, their frustration, their anger, their disappointment. So how do they know what to do with it? You have to teach them. You have to provide them with the tools to regulate and manage their emotions. We're not here to make sure tantrums never happen because that's not gonna happen.
It's really part of their development.
Part of their development. All kids go through it. No matter how bait looking, lahat sila magta-tantrums. So what do? In the moment, tayo nga paggalit, kung sinabihan tayo kalma ka, di ka kakalma.
Oh, fully developed na yung brain natin.
Yeah. Our frontal lobes are already there and yet we still get angry if someone tells us to calm down. So what do we expect from our littles? So when they're in the heat of the moment, when they are throwing their tantrums, just be there. Make sure that they're safe. If you're in a public area, bring them somewhere quieter. If you have a car, you can bring them to the car. Make sure that they're in a secure area where they can let it out. You cannot abort it, especially not with fear. Hindi pwede papaluin kita or ayan si Kuya Guard kukunin ka. That's not nice. And then once they're through the big emotions, you help them debrief and name it. Because it's overwhelming for them also what just happened. I just lost control of myself. Be like, I know you really wanted that toy and I know I told you we could not get it and that's why you were so angry. You name the emotion. You let them know that, you know, it's perfectly all right to feel those things. But then you give them an alternative. Next time if you're feeling those big emotions, what can we do? So you can ask them, do you want to hug mommy? Do you want to maybe squeeze a ball? I learned this from a patient. Do you want to inhale the flowers and blow the candle? Basically things that help them calm down and regulate their emotions. But during the thick of it, forget about it. And you have to also accept that toddlers will be toddlers, but do not stop it there. Accept that the emotions will happen, but you have to provide them with tools, a way to manage their emotions so that it's acceptable once they're older. Hindi naman pwede forever sila nagtatantrum. So you have to be the ones to teach it.
With Sienna, that's also what we do. So again, what Doc said, I think that's so important to make sure they're in a safe space. Because some toddlers, you know, they hit or they like, parang sa kakaganon nila, you know that they will hit their head somewhere or something. So you just make sure that they're in a safe space. With Sienna, when she's in the thick of it, like really crying, there's no use kasi when they're shouting and crying for you to like try to reason with them because they're not listening. Right now, they're
can't
just,
hear you.
yeah, they can't hear you. So what we do with Sienna is we hug her, or a lot of the times, this one she hears. Like I would say, do you need a hug? And then she would come and hug me. And when she hugs me, that's when she calms down. And that's when we do the inhale, exhale, which didn't work in the first time. Like she didn't want to do it before. She's like, I don't want to do it. But now she's realized that it helps her, so now she's ready for that and she knows how to do the inhale and exhale. We'll inhale with her and exhale with her while we're hugging. And then after that, when she's calm, that's when we'll talk to her and name her emotions, and also yun nga, we'll give solutions to it. And that's also when I give her reminders na, my love, it's okay for you to cry because I know you're frustrated, but we don't hit and we don't shout. So that's something that it's a major no-no for us. Like, we don't hit, we don't shout. If you fight the kid kasi and say na, stop that right now, go to the corner, sit down, like, it doesn't solve anything. They don't learn, and all the more that they can't process it.
Yes.
It's even longer pa. Feeling ko kasi a lot of the parents, they get so frustrated, they want to end the tantrum right away. So they feel like if I shout, if I just use fear, or if I use this type of way, that it will stop the tantrum right away and tapos na. Maybe it might work for the first 2 times, but in the long run, it's just gonna make the problem worse.
Yeah.
And I understand because we don't always have time to like, okay, I'll wait for you
Or
to calm down.
patience.
Or the patience. Like, I always say nga, may time si mommy ngayon. Sige lang, my love, cry. Like, I would sometimes tell her that. But I know that there are times that we don't have that. But a lot of the times that when we handle tantrums, we also have to handle ourselves.
As a parent yourself.
It's really us. Something that really helps me is always really just remembering that it's not your child. That's what they're capable of now. It's not because you have a bad kid. It's really just what they can handle at this moment, at that age. So yeah, don't take it personally. Okay, Doc, when it comes to vaccines, are there any like vaccine myths that we should debunk? Because I think there are still some people out there who believe certain things about vaccines that are not necessarily, beneficial for their kids.
Heavy.
Heavy,
okay.
but a must.
Maybe we can start it off framing it this way. Because vaccines have received a lot of issues or scrutiny and misinformation, from our perspective, there's no scientific or medical intervention that's as well studied, well monitored, and scrutinized as vaccines. Because remember, we're giving something to healthy people who don't have any illness. We want to make sure that they're safe and they're healthy. So we're injecting something and we have to make sure that it makes them healthier, not make them sicker. And with all those misinformation, we have to make sure we're doing the right things, because any misstep on our end will cause people to fall further down the disinformation and misinformation rabbit hole. So when we recommend vaccines, have the trust and the comfort of knowing that these are very, very, very well studied. And even when we're already giving them out now for decades, we are still constantly monitoring them, just so that people feel comforted or feel secure that when we give vaccines, anything that happens inadvertently because of it, we're on it. So remember, these vaccines were produced for diseases that are very, very bad. That's why we had to make something to fight against them, because once you get the illness, pangit na. It's not good anymore. It's difficult to treat, or it may have consequences that can impact the child or the adult in a chronic manner, in a debilitating manner. So it's important to have these vaccines. Couple of myths that some people have is like, Doc, okay lang ba na ang dami in one visit? So especially during the early days na lit-lit pa ni baby, 2 tusok agad plus the oral pa. Okay lang yun. The baby's body is very resilient, and the vaccines are actually not that tough on their bodies. In fact, when you give them together, they work synergistically. That means together, they actually enhance each other. And then the number of the vaccines that we have, sabi nila, Doc, parang dati ganito lang kadami. Ngayon, sobrang dami na.
Dami na rin kasing virus.
And because now we have more medical knowledge. The more the better. Kasi sabi ko, I have a daughter, she's turning 2, and sabi ko, lahat na pwede ko ibibigay ko talaga kasi magkasakit siya. It's a blessing that we have so many vaccines, kasi that means we've developed these vaccines so far along already that we can protect against these diseases na. That's a gift. Another hot one, mga components of a vaccine can cause stuff like Guillain-Barré or like autism. Not true. That has been long debunked. The guy who made that study made it with falsified data, and he had his medical license revoked, and he's profiting off people's fears. So don't let these bad actors keep you from taking very good care of your kids. A huge part of that is your immunizations or your vaccinations. I'm very pro-vaccine, and if you have questions about any of the vaccines, admittedly there are a lot, don't be afraid to ask your doctor, but Doc, ba't ang dami? Para saan ba to? Ako sa kliniko, hinihimay ko talaga. This is what this is for, this is what this is for, and this is what we expect. Most of the vaccines now sobrang ganda na ng pagkagawa, halos wala ng side effect.
Yeah. For my kids, none. Like, even the fever nga, like, she never.
The most common is actually they tend to be sleepier
Really?
afterwards.
oh, adi, thank you, Doc. Na-joke lang.
Sabi ng isang dad, Doc, pwede araw-araw may bakuna para tulog lang pagka-uwi. Sabi ko, parang wala na ganun kadaming vaccine. But don't be afraid. And when you have doubts or when you have any fears or may nakita kayo, talk to your trusted pediatrician or doctor para we can have a discussion with you. We're not gonna hard sell anything to you, but we want you to come into things with the right information so you can make the best decision for your family.
Speaking of talking to your pediatrician, Doc, so someone also said na I really love my pediatrician, but there are some things that I don't agree with as a pediatrician yourself. Like, how would you like parents to go about these things? That kasi hindi naman may iwasan yun that they have different beliefs or they have these disagreements with the pedia. Like, how do we approach this?
Think of your pediatrician as your partner in taking care of your kid. I personally make sure my parents feel like I'm not there to lord over them. I'm there to help them make decisions that are best for their family. So if, for example, your doctor has a recommendation that you don't necessarily agree with or has an opinion that you don't necessarily feel strongly towards, then you ask them about it. Doc, I read about this. What do you think? Go to your doctor with the intention of having a discussion with them. Remember that we also just want the best for your child and we will help you work towards that goal. Kasi ikaw pa rin naman ng parent. We are just there to be of guidance and we're there to make sure medically we are keeping them healthy. Everything else is up to you. We advocate for you to be advocates for your kids.
Okay, Doc, I think that's a perfect way to end our vlog. And I don't want to keep you for so long because I know that you're a very busy woman. But Doc, before I let you go, any last words? Any last words on like our topic about like food and nutrients for kids?
On my end, if you and your family can afford or it's available to you to get all these whole and real foods, then go for it. If, for example, your budget's a little tighter, then fortified foods have a role in your diet. But again, nutrients are better absorbed through whole foods, through your diet, instead of just supplementation or even through fortification. So be sure to kind of just weigh what kind of diet you want your kids to have, what kind of foods you want them to have, because these choices do matter.
So true, Doc. Kasi syempre, for us, all we want is really just to make smart and healthy and loving choices for our kids. And as what Doc said, I think real food is the easiest way to do this. Kasi nga, if real food, yan na siya, nandiyan na lahat. No need to add anything. It's right there. So again, thank you, Doc, for joining me. If you guys learned anything here, or if you guys like really loved our topic, or kung may question pa kayo kay Doc, we'll just send you an invoice. Just kidding. Please make sure to leave a green heart below in the comment section. Voice out anything. Kung may time si Doc, then I won't make promises. Kung may time lang si Doc, Doc can maybe answer there. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more mom hacks and food truths. Bye!
Bye!